Hey, hey, hey. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you all are having a great Friday. We have made it to the end of the week, and it's time to get it popping. So, Friday, y'all know how we do. Get your wine, invite your friends, come on in. We are talking all things relationships. So come on in. As you come in, let me know where you are tuning in from. I am Rachel Hunter, your licensed clinical social worker. And I'm excited to be here with you on this Friday. As you come in, let me know where you are tuning in from. How has your week been? Has this been a week for you or has it been a week for you? I know on Tuesday I was saying happy Friday. So my days have been a little skewed just a little bit. But happy Friday. I am happy to see you. We're starting early. Normally we start at 7:30. But we are early today. We'll be back to the 7 o'clock time frame. So happy Friday as you come in. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Welcome, everybody. We are streaming on, let's see where we're streaming. We're streaming on Facebook. We're streaming on LinkedIn. We are also YouTube. That's the other one. So like, share, subscribe. My team always tells me to make sure I say that. So like, share, and subscribe. But happy Friday. I am so excited to be here with you all. Listen, we are talking about relationships. And we're talking about friendships in the context of marriage. So I'm excited to hop into that with you all. As you come in, let me know where you are tuning in from. Hey, Keith. It is good to see you. Keith is in the building. Boston, headed back to Raleigh. Okay, safe travel, safe trip. I'm so happy that you were able to join us. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And listen, when y'all come in, invite. So right now, if you would, please invite your friends, share this with other people. We're going to have a great conversation like we always do. So we're talking about friendships in the relationship, right? So in the marriage, specifically marriages, we're going to be talking about that, right? Like, are you still friends with your spouse? Like, let's talk about that. Like, do you even look at your spouse as a friend, or is it just purely romantic, right? Like, so are you still friends with your spouse? The other question that we're going to talk about as well is, do you all allow or have friendships of the opposite sex? Now, last Friday, one of the viewers um, wanted us to talk about that. And I was like, yes, that is a dope conversation for us to have. So we are definitely going to get into that. And even if we have to do a part two, we're going to talk about that because I want to hear from y'all, right? The people that I coach, some of the couples are like, no, we don't do that. Others are like, yeah, it's not a problem long as, your friends is my friends. That's not a problem. So I definitely want to hear from you all about that. So listen, as you come in, let me know where you are tuning in from because y'all know I want to shout you out. So as you come in, let me know where you're tuning in from and share, invite, share this broadcast. Okay. Do me that favor. So poll number one, y'all know we do the polls. I want to hear from you all. Are you still friends? If you're married, are you still friends with your spouse? If you're not married, think about what that means to be a friend. Like, how important is that? That whole friendship thing. Like, do I even need to be friends with my spouse? So, if you are married, are you friends with your spouse? Keith said absolutely. Becky said yes. Welcome, Becky. As y'all come in, share this, invite. Thank you all for those of y'all who have shared. So it sounds like yes, y'all are friends. Like, how important is that? And some people are saying best friends. Okay, so how do we get there? Like, this whole best friends thing, friends, what are y'all doing to foster that or to cultivate that friendship? Like, before you answer that, scale of 1 to 10, how important is it to be friends? Like, do you have to be friends? Um, if we good, can I be married and have a best friend? All right. Like, so Becky is saying that her husband is her best friend. Can you be married and still have a best friend? I guess you can have more than one best friend, but um, this whole piece of, I'm married, my partner is my best friend. Um, how does that work? How does that work? Can you have and do things shift and change when we're talking about being friends? How does that work, with your partner? So Becky said, my husband just happens to be my best friend. Okay. Okay. And listen, that's a beautiful thing, right? A lot of the couples that I coach, that's one of the things that they talk about, this idea of being connected with their spouse and feeling like, you know, my partner is dope. Like, I want to be friends. First and foremost, I want to be friends with my partner, or we are friends. Or there's the issue where it's like we're not friends. And we want to enhance that relationship. So when you're thinking about that, right? How important does your partner need to be your best friend? Or is it good enough for them to be your friend? So, does your partner have to need to be your best friend? Do you all consider? Becky said that she considers her husband to be her best friend, but is that the case for everybody else? Or is it just like, listen, we're friends. I love him or her, but I have a different best friend. I have a different best friend. So what are the thoughts about that? I can't be married to someone I don't like, respect, trust, and value. I love that, because what we're saying is, for me to have gotten to a place where I'm like, I had to have respected you, trusted you, and felt you were valuable. But does that mean that is your friend, though? But I love that point. Keith said, listen, it's out of 10. Like, we have got to be friends. I was physically attracted to her, but I need to like her platonically, because I need to know I can enjoy myself with you. So listen, and Becky said, listen, we are friends. We're friends with benefits. I love it. So that's an excellent point that y'all are bringing up, right? Keith said, listen, I'm attracted to her physically, but I need to like her platonically, right? Because the physical stuff, big booty, muscles, whatever it is physically that you enjoy or like about that person, isn't going to last. And so Keith is saying, listen, at the end of the day, I need to like to be around this person. It has to be more than just the physical or the romantic aspects of things. And I think that's a really good point. That the friendship at the friend level is there, right? Like, I got to be friends with you. I have to enjoy being around you. I have to enjoy your company. And then we can go from there. Hey, welcome, welcome. As y'all come in, let me know where y'all are tuning in from. Cheek said, listen, I'm not married, but I would like for my future husband to be my best friend. I love that. I'm not married either. And I think that is so important. So when we're talking about, I want this person to be my best friend, let's kind of talk about that. I want to hear from the married people first, as far as what did you do to cultivate that relationship? Because it didn't happen overnight. And what are you currently doing to cultivate a friendship in your marriage, right? What are y'all doing to get that, to enhance that relationship, so that you consider this person like, yo, this is my best friend. Hey, Tiffany. Tiffany said, hey, tuning in from Raleigh. Welcome, Tiffany. Thank you for joining us. So, for those of y'all who are just tuning in, we are talking about your spouse. Are you friends with your spouse? If you are, how important is that? And then now we want to know, how are you cultivating that relationship? Like, what are you doing to maintain the friendship, enhance it, grow it, further develop it? What are y'all doing to get that? Because Cheeks and I were saying, listen, when we get married, we want to have our spouse be our best friend. Um, and that's important. So let's kind of hear from those of you all who are married and who consider your spouse to be your best friend, or consider your spouse to be your friends. Now, I want to be honest, there are couples that I have counseled in the past where they was like, I don't even like this person. Like, I love them, but when it comes to liking, no, I don't like this person. I love them, but I don't like this person. And so when we're thinking about it from that perspective, it is important to do things to strengthen the relationship, because yeah, when I get off work, like I want to come home. I want to be with the person that's in the house. The other reason why it's important to have this connection and relationship is when your kids leave, that's who you're going to be in the house with. And so it's, what kind of relationship do you have with your spouse? Tiffany said that's a lot to type. So listen, if you want to come on live, the link is in the chat. If you want to come and speak it out, you certainly can. Because you're right, it can be a lot to type. But let's kind of talk about that. What does it look like to cultivate that? But what does that mean when we're saying, this is my best friend? What does that actually mean? What does your spouse do that makes you consider them your friend or your best friend? And how are you cultivating that? Like, how do we get there? How do we maintain that? Because life happens. I have a girlfriend and she says, like, when life is lifing, and it can happen, and you like, we even talked last Friday about finances. No romance when I would say no. If you don't have finances, there ain't no romance, or something we were saying. And we talked about how sometimes there can be stresses in the relationship. What do you do to maintain and to strengthen that relationship, that friendship? So if you want to come on live and speak what you have to say, the link is in the chat. Keith said we had to have an unadulterated, honest conversation so they could know every aspect of my character. We learned each other's likes and dislikes, just spending time with each other to learn them. So listen, these are some really good points that Keith is bringing up, and that I always encourage my couples to do, right? One, you have to be honest. And I know people talk about, like, when you are dating someone, you're just getting their representative, right? But the reality is, like, you really do need to be honest, especially, okay, we're married, we've gotten engaged. Honest conversations need to be had, and we kind of emphasized that last week. And they need to know you. You need to be able to be transparent and vulnerable with them. Like, listen, let me just be real honest with you. And share whatever it is, right? Because that's a part of creating this intimacy, which is a part of the friendship, right? So letting them know every aspect of your character and learning your likes and dislikes. So I want you to think about it from this perspective, and I want to hear from you, the rest of you all as well. But I want you to think about it from this perspective. It's giving them the opportunity to know the real and true you, right? Like letting your mask down and allowing them to see your flaws. Like, listen, this is what it is. This is what I'm like in the morning. This is what I look like. This is what my breath smells like in the morning. Like being completely transparent and completely honest with them. And I think that part is important. All right, so we have Tiffany. Hey, Tiffany.
Hey.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, okay, Tiffany, talk to us. Talk to us. How long have you been married? And tell me about this whole friendship thing, your thoughts on it.
So I've been married for 12 years in September this year.
Awesome.
We've
Congratulations.
been together for 15. So we met when I was 22 and he was 21. So Keith is in the chat, so I don't know he about to say next, so please. Um, so the whole friendship and marriage thing is one thing. When we started, it was be transparent, be as honest as possible. But we were young and dumb, so that
Yeah.
was not
Yeah.
honest. Um, it may have been one sided. He probably said he'd be honest the whole time. Wait till the comments get ready.
Hmm.
Um, but being transparent and creating that friendship, because I have friends now that I've known since I was 4 years old.
Hmm.
But friends come and go. This person, like you said, you have to look at when the kids are gone. You
Yeah.
got to look at in the ugly times when you're sick. You got to
Hmm.
look at them when you're happy and enjoying life.
Hmm.
And you got to want to be there. And that's
Yeah.
the difference. It's not an obligation because you're married, is you want to be there.
Yeah.
So Keith has been traveling on business all week. I can't wait until that plane land at 10 o'clock tonight. And it's not no romantic thing. It's just point of I've been in the house talking to my dog and trying to get out, visiting people, but just to be able to, after get off a bad phone call, to look over or yell upstairs, can you believe what just happened? Even
Hmm.
if he has no response
Yeah.
and does not care, but he be like, yeah, I heard you, and he don't care. Just the point of having that person with you
Yeah.
is what the relationship is. And we do lots of things separate. So don't think that, it's like I gotta be up under him. But
Hmm.
if I'm thinking about, oh, I want to go indoor skydiving, or I want to go
Hmm.
play putt putt, or go do X, Y, and Z, I'm gonna be like, hey, you want to go?
Hmm.
He's my first choice. We've had a lot of other struggles that a lot of people don't have to deal with. Us being in our mid 30s, like
Yeah.
Keith is a cancer survivor.
Hmm.
We've had other issues have dealt with, and the way we keep our relationship going is realizing that it's just us
Yeah.
and against the world. Our friendship has to be first because at the end of the day, we can stay married and decide, you know what, but I'm physically attracted to somebody else. Well, you okay if I do that? You okay if you do that?
Hmm.
If you have an agreement. And
Hmm.
that's one thing, the agreement comes before the relationship. Because the
Okay.
agreement is what you have to know your boundaries with that person.
Yeah.
And that's how you get into the relationship and the friendship. And the friendship just builds off everything. So, like, we literally can sit in the house and be in two separate parts of the house. And I can like send him a TikTok and he'll watch it. I hear him laugh like, yeah, I thought that'd be the reaction I got.
Hmm.
So it's just the point of not trying to, like you would do with your girlfriends.
Hmm.
You people you work with, you realize they go to Chipotle twice a week. When their birthday come around, you go buy them a Chipotle gift card if you halfway cool with them, not because you like, oh, but you know that's what they like. And the person
Hmm.
you're with, you have to see what they like. Be
Yeah.
service to them. Meet
Yeah.
them where they are, even in the ugly times. When you don't
Yeah.
realize it's an ugly time, you
Hmm.
still meet them where they are, and the friendship just grows. You realize, like I said, you miss them when they're not there.
Yeah, those are really good points that you're bringing out, and a couple of them is one, it's it's recognizing that this person has value, and let me get to know them more. Like let me listen to them, let me talk to them, let me ask questions, let me kind of observe that, let me put in the effort to get to know this person. And I love what you said, which is, I want to be here, like having that desire to be here. Like, I'm not just here to be here, but I like you and I want to know more about you. And so I'm going to put in the effort to do that so that we can enhance and grow this relationship.
Yep. And I just say be transparent. Just how I would call. my girlfriend be like, he get on my nerves on my job and X, Y, and Z. I call her first so that I don't give it to him that harsh. But yeah, he still gets the I really didn't like it when you did that. Can we find
Mhm.
another way to say it? But my
Mhm.
girlfriend got that. Yeah. But that's the
Now,
difference.
how?
And the thing is, I tell him the same thing. He knows this happened.
Yeah.
So,
How challenging is it though for people to be transparent and honest though, like to be upfront and direct? How hard, easy, challenging is that for people to be with their spouse, like to really just be like completely transparent?
it's hard in the beginning
Mhm.
because you want that person to like you. You want them to want
Mhm.
to be with you. You want to make sure that you're super exceeding all their needs and that you're their desire.
Yeah.
But after a certain amount of time, especially when you know y'all chose each other, you have to gradually like, you know what? That was a honeymoon stage. Yeah, I could do dinner 7 days a week. You only get five. Saturday and Sunday, you on your own. Monday, Tuesday on your own. I see you the other days.
Yeah.
Um, but then you have to be honest about. I think it starts with yourself. You have to be willing to say these are my weaknesses
Yeah.
in places, so that way they can know where to meet you
Mhm.
and help you with that. But transparency has been the key to it all. Being able
Yeah.
to laugh at your dumb moments.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that part too, right? The being able to laugh. Um honey, because whoever I get with, like if we can't laugh, and I think people underestimate the importance of being able to laugh with someone. That is key. That is key. So I love that you bring that point out.
Yeah.
When you think about this person is my friend, what does that mean? What are the and this is for those in the audience as well, right? When you're thinking about my partner as my spouse as my friend, what does that mean?
Um, being non-judgmental.
Gotcha.
Um, accepting everything around you that comes with you.
Hmm.
Because not just the big everybody's favorite word trauma and baggage, but your situation that comes with you. I have a father who has dementia. My
Yeah.
mother passed in November. I have siblings and all this kind of stuff. And even before that, he had to be there to help me through that. Somebody who's willing to work with you. Um, Honestly, and this may sound crazy, the things you look for in your girlfriend that you want to talk to,
Hmm.
you want that in your man, and you also want it. Well, me and my man, but you want him to be a protector as well, or be
Gotcha.
willing to show that he can protect you. So that right there, um, just that trustworthy and being able to be my confidant. That's my thing when it comes to friendship because I'm too old to have play friends. I don't need friends who I'm gonna call for like, hey, let's go out do Instagram photos. I'm too old for that. I'm almost 40.
Absolutely.
This is not time for that. Mm-mm. So I need them ride or die friends. Them friends where we about to move. I need you to come help clean out the tub
Yeah.
and where we going and where we going to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I look in when it came to him. Like I said, we were young and dumb, but he had a work ethic
Okay.
and he had a willingness because he was all the way in Massachusetts and I was in Salisbury, North Carolina, in
Hmm.
school. But every
Wow.
6 weeks, he was buying that plane ticket to
Hmm.
come visit. He was
Hmm.
putting effort into it.
Hmm.
And it wasn't just come, oh, we about to do it because you hear it was, all right, what we gonna do? We gonna watch movies. We gonna talk.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know, having conversation with people, get to know who they really are.
Yeah.
That that, that's what friendship is. Being
Yeah.
like I said, being
Hmm.
ugly with them, the deep down ugly.
Yeah. So this is the parts, right, that I'm hearing you say, which is with when you consider a friend, what it means to be a friend. The biggest thing I'm hearing is this trustworthiness, right? Like, this is a person that has shown me and consistently shows me that I can trust them, that I can be myself with them. There's not going to be judgment. And this person has shown that consistency. And so even when we're talking about enhancing the friendship, like continuing or maintaining that friendship, the honesty part is important as well. And I want to go back to that just a little bit, because I think sometimes people think about honesty like saying, I spent, I don't know, $10 or whatever. But another part of being honest is, how am I feeling in this relationship? If there are areas that you feel like are lacking in the relationship, being able to have that honesty. And what I've seen in the past with my couples that I have provided therapy for is that sometimes they will go along to get along. They're not happy, but they will go along to get along. Well, I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to upset this person. And so, especially so when I look at it from the female's perspective, a lot of the females kind of feel like, I'm not happy, I'm not satisfied. And the man is, well, I'm not happy or satisfied either, but whatever she wants, I'm just going to kind of go along with it. So let's kind of talk a little bit about that, right? So as a married, as a wife, how does that work? When you're thinking about in your household, if you've had to have those difficult conversations, how have you done it? And how has that helped strengthen the relationship, the friendship?
But first of all, if you don't tell your spouse what you need, then you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
That was me. I want to say year 1 through 6.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever I can to make him happy. We're gonna be straight.
Mm-hmm.
He would do things, get on my nerves. It's okay. He's still just being him.
Yeah.
And then the light bulb went off. Was like, well, are you straight? You're not straight.
Mm-hmm.
The way he leaves X, Y, and Z is not where you want it. So it's like you have to. It's like you would do with a job.
Yeah.
I say this sometimes, but relationships sometimes are transactional.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be able, at the moments where it's tough time, you have to come out of your feelings and say,
Yeah.
hey, this is what I need from you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a very over emotional, cuddly person.
Gotcha.
Over emotional. She's just a man all day.
Yeah.
I'm good. We ain't got a hug. He good. But I will tell him, listen, I need hugs and kisses today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Today is the day I need you to cuddle me for bed, and nothing may not come after that. I may fall asleep snoring, but today I need X, Y, and Z because that's what I need.
Yeah.
And just how I would go to my job and say, I need to stand up desk because I got a bad back. Why should I be able to go tell my spouse, today I need you to do X, Y, and Z?
Yeah. That's so, Tiffany, you said a mouthful, right? Because it's being comfortable enough to say what I need. And and that's important, because a lot of times what happens is we do this. Well, they should know. Uh-oh, are you frozen, Tiffany? Okay, I think Tiffany froze for a second. But a lot of times we, as women, sometimes we feel like, well, he should know what I need. And we don't communicate, right? We're not upfront, we're not honest, or we kind of are passive aggressive, right? So we won't tell that, we won't say, oh, my feelings are hurt. We won't say, I need this, or I did not like when you did that, right? We'll be passive aggressive. So we slamming doors, or he trying to hug us. We like, And so I love what you were saying, Tiffany, about being upfront and honest with what you need, because this is the person you live with, you are doing life with.
Yeah. And I have really bad sarcasm. Um, I don't know. I'm willing to admit this, and he probably be in the chat with big yes letters. I don't know how to be sarcastic because I'm like, and you didn't do X, Y, Z, but it's okay though. And he's
We're
like,
good for
that's
that.
not sarcasm. You said what you meant, and you gave that nasty smile afterwards. That's not sarcasm. So so yeah, so that's when it get really bad. But most time it's like, hey, this is what X, Y, and Z is, and this is how it's gonna work. But like I said, different challenges in our life
Yeah.
has got us there. I think if we wouldn't have went through what we went through,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have been as evolved. We still probably would have had some little games going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
But people realize that playing games don't get you nowhere. It is no winner or loser in a relationship.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
if you're both not giving 10,000%, you both losing.
Yeah. Yeah. That part takes maturity though, Tiffany, right? Like to be able to recognize that this is not a competition.
Mm-hmm.
We are not trying to one up each other. It's beneficial for both of us. And so it is only going to be win-win when we are both pulling and working together. What are the benefits of being friends with your spouse? What would you say? And I want to hear from y'all as well. Same poll question is, what are the benefits of being friends with your spouse?
You don't have to hide anything.
Mm,
Um, like women when they go through their transition with locks, and they want to put wigs on their hair, or
yeah.
or when you're transitioning in weight. When I met Keith, I was almost 400 pounds. Today I'm 195. Everything is
Wow.
loose, sagging, flipping around. It don't look the same, but I
It's-
can still walk around my house any way I want, our house way I want to, and
yeah.
don't have to feel like, well, I need to get this fixed, because you don't have to hide. I mean, like I said, that person should be the person that I can sit on the middle of the floor and just bust out crying ugly, silly
Hmm.
tears with my
Hmm.
hair in silly plaits and no lotion on and no bra and crumbs on my face and look like who did it. And they should look at me and either say, I'm gonna give her a minute because that's my personality, or they'll come and console me because that's what I need.
Hmm.
So, like I said, transparency and just being 100 and giving that 110,000%, and both being willing. And the
Yeah.
benefits of having it is that it's never going to end. It's
Hmm.
always going to keep evolving.
Yeah.
Because like you said, maturity comes and you do different things as you get older. And
Yeah.
so now that I'm actually physically free from a lot of my weight, I'm starting to do crazy things that I would never imagine doing, like wanting to go on
Like
roller
what?
coasters.
Okay.
And I went indoor skydiving for my birthday. I
Ooh.
decided now, maybe it's the time to go back and try crown again. Next, doing, maybe it's time to go learn how to roller skate or learn how to swim.
Yeah.
And those are things that if you are upfront with the person, and Keith knows my story about not knowing how to ride a bike. Now I know how to ride a bike at 40.
Yeah.
It makes sense to them because they already know it. And it's
Yeah.
not like she having a midlife crisis. It's that,
Hmm.
when she was that age, she was
Yes.
extremely overweight and it was
Yeah.
hard to do those things.
Yeah. Tiffany, that's a really important point that you're bringing out. When you talk about a husband that is non-judgmental, right? And that you feel comfortable enough sharing things with. It sounds like the benefits is that you can be completely be yourself, which makes it a lot easier for him to support you because you've shared the past with him, no embarrassment, no judgment, freedom to do that. And now when you're trying to experience what you didn't experience before, it's no issue, it's no problem because he fully understands who Tiffany is and why Tiffany is the way that she is. So that is excellent. What and I want to hear from y'all in the audience as well. What would you consider to be the benefit? And then when you're thinking about, okay, if these are some of the benefits of being a friend to my spouse and having my spouse as a friend, how does that long term enhance the relationship and who else benefits from this?
Um, it's a team. And I
Mhm.
say it's a team because Keith, we both have our own businesses. Yes, I work a full time, whatever, but I
Mhm.
own a baking business. I
Okay.
have an event tomorrow. He's going to be to help me set up. I got to get done. He does life insurance. We're going to be together passing out cards.
Mhm.
So it's never, the benefit is that technically you are never alone.
Yeah.
And so some people crave having to be with people, and some people don't. like it. But thing is, like I said, going back to transparency, if the person you with know you, they know what type of space you need.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you're with them for a reason, and
Mm-hmm.
y'all are going to work through it, and it benefits you because in the great times you have somebody to celebrate with. In the
Mm-hmm.
bad times you have somebody there to help support you, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And then it affects everybody you're around.
Yeah.
When you have kids, it shows your kids different types of relationships. We ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna say healthy or unhealthy, but just different types of relationships, and
Mm-hmm.
how to cultivate relationships and how to grow them on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps your family, those who may have never been married or had horrible relationships.
Yeah.
And you can, the thing is, no matter how great somebody's relationship is, it's their relationship.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be, oh, well, I like this or I like that, but it's not yours. It works for them.
Yeah.
So that's the one rule we have. We don't compare our relationship to anybody else. It's ours.
Okay.
And what we put
Okay.
into it and what we do into it
Mm-hmm.
is what we do. We decide to share it with you. See
Mm-hmm.
that everybody get relationships and marriage mixed up with that highlight reel of Facebook and Instagram.
Okay. Talk about it.
Like, get over there. Y'all, me and Keith may be over here. We might be doing indoor skydive, might be out to dinner. We might be walking around downtown looking good in these cute outfits. Right now, I got on an old family reunion t-shirt with cake mix on it because I've been baking all day for tomorrow. I got bleach on because I was cleaning out the cooler. And when I pick him up, I'm gonna be in the same shirt and these sweats.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna walk him out with his travel self and be like, "Hey, baby, I missed you. Kiss me, come out, shower, and go to bed."
Yeah.
And that's real life.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people, they want that relationship from Instagram, but it's work.
That's okay. So, Tiffany, that is really important because when I think back on the couples and the individuals, the women that I have coached and provided therapy with, and two, a lot of what we see is comparison. And it's the grass
Mhm.
looks greener over here. And the reality is, honey, those are pictures. And just because that's the other piece of things, right? Is that it looks good, that does not mean that it is good. And this is your relationship. So you cannot, what may work for someone else's relationship may not work for you. And so being able to recognize, okay, I want my partnership, my friendship, my relationship with my husband or wife to be like this. Looking at that, seeing how you can create whatever it is that y'all decide that you want, and not feeling the pressure to try to, compete with anybody else. That part is really important, and I'm so happy that you brought that up. Now, let me ask you this. Let me go back. You mentioned another piece, which was when you are able to have a relationship, a friendship with your spouse, it really does help other people, right? Because you're role modeling behaviors. And
Mhm.
especially if you have children, showing them what that looks like. I think that is so important, especially for families of color, for our kids to see, because it's the media portrays us like we're not healthy, we don't have, that we're just so dysfunctional. And so I love that you brought that up, that this allows children, our children, to see what this looks like, right? That it's not all
Absolutely.
dysfunctional. It's not this housewives of Atlanta, all this foolishness. No, it's we talk, we're going to have disagreements, but we are in this thing together. We're running businesses together. We're supporting each other. So I really love that you bringing that up. Any thoughts about that?
Um, so like I said, Keith and I are, well, I'm in my later 30s. But we became foster parents 2 years ago. And
Wow.
so we fostered 9 kids. We've had Caucasian children, African American children,
Mhm,
siblings sets of 2 and 3,
mhm.
individuals. And the goal is while they're here,
Yeah.
we learned their backstory, where they came from, their parents, X, Y, and Z. And sometimes it wasn't all their parents' fault. But
Mhm.
while they're here in this house,
Yeah.
we show them the relationship, not necessarily like gender roles. Well, he's the man, he's on the couch TV. No, we all
Mhm,
work together. Everybody gets a job.
mhm.
We showed them how our relationship supposed to work. We, you know, hugs in front of them, showing
Mhm.
affection the
Yeah.
same way I would give you a hug, I give him a hug. And because of the situation, we ask for hugs to let them know it's their choice to be touched or not.
I love that. Yeah.
But the relationship, getting in the car and go, because at one point in time, our three kids were here for 90 days. It's like, well, Mr. Keith driving today. He's driving your truck. It's not my truck, it's our
Our
truck.
fault. I love that. Yeah.
Our truck. And so it really benefited them because we have connection with all our kids who left still.
Mhm.
And, these are kids who were all 10 and under. And and one time they called and it was like, where's Mr. Keith? I want to ask him about music or I want to ask X, Y,
Wow.
and Z.
Yeah.
But they, because we had a positive relationship and showed them how to communicate between ourselves, no yelling. And there were times we still got upset and it was an eye roll and they would call out, oh, you rolled your eyes. And I'm like, it's okay to express your feelings, but it's better to use your words.
Yeah.
So it's, people, the kids around, they called it.
Mhm. Let me ask you this. And this is the next question that I kind of want to talk on, and I want to hear from the audience as well. Do you all have friends of the opposite sex? And if so, how does that work? How did y'all discuss it? Tell us, let's kind of get into that. So, friends of the opposite sex, yay, nay, no, we ain't doing it. It's all right. We need to talk. Like, where are we at with that?
I don't have any. And that's by my choice. Because I was a tomboy. If you ask my daddy, I am his boy. His fishing, his cutting grass partner, and I was raised with my cousin, so I was very much a tomboy. Like last Sunday, I said, "Keep you married a boy." He said, "No, I didn't. I married a girl." But because I had a really nice dress on Easter with some Adidas high tops on because I was so, but I don't have any because through my life and where I've been, my confidence level. A lot of guys want to be my friend because they wanted to be with me on the low or just have sex or whatever. So I didn't really have a lot of relationships, except a few with some guys. So I was like, whatever, I'm good. When I met Keith, he had an ex-girlfriend that he dated in like high school or middle school for like, them short 6 month relationships.
Mhm.
And he was like, I want you to meet her because she's really my friend. So it was like, we were 2 years in. I went to Boston. I met her, and she didn't grill me the wrong way. So it took me like 3 or 4 years. And then my one close guy friend that I had in college passed away unexpectedly of leukemia. And I looked at him and I said, I do not want you to feel this hurt I felt because his wife wouldn't let him talk to me anymore after they got married.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
And I said, I don't want you to feel this hurt that I feel right now because I couldn't be with him when he was sick. He had a sneak and send me text messages telling me he was sick. I said, I want you to talk to her. I want y'all to rebuild your friendship because if she was that important for you to make sure I met her 2 years into dating,
Mhm.
I got to be more grown than that. So that was my maturity thing. And so
Okay.
she's been in Boston all week. I was like, go see her. Go see her.
Gotcha.
Go have a dinner, do whatever. And then what he does, there's always, because there's a lot of women in the field. And some women he creates work relationships with, and some of them be like, "How can I eat? Okay, bring some because I'm not feeding you for free." And that goes to if you know the value of your relationship and your friendship,
Yeah.
you can go right now at midnight and say, "I'm going to do an insurance appointment." Bye.
But that trust.
Yeah, he was a musician. He went to
Mhm.
Berklee School of Music, and so he has a lot of friends who are on tour with artists. It was 11:30. His friend was like, "I'm with Janelle Monae downtown. We're doing sound check for tomorrow. Come." I was like, "They
I'm
called me.
good.
I'm on the bed.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't invited." And the trust and the communication, knowing the past, knowing where they are, and knowing they have those, just they are open to immaturity.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I
One
don't,
of
I
a
don't
few of the things.
see my friend is good.
Yeah. Yeah. A few of the things. Your audio is going low at some point, so make sure that's
Sorry.
okay. But a few of the pieces that stick out to me that you shared is um initially, you were like, listen, I'm not going to have any male friends. I'm not going to do it. But it sounds like overall or over time, you got to a place, especially with that experience with your friend, where it sounds like Keith made it very easy to trust him. And so it made it, as you matured and had experiences, this friendship of opposite sex was not an issue for you. Um,
No, it wasn't. Like I said, he wanted. So mind you, we were 23 when I met this young lady, and the lady was very heavy chested, and she was leaning on a fence. And I was like, why is her boobs on the fence? She's trying to show you her titties. Like, why can't she? And I got back in the car. He was, I'm trying to, she's trying to be seductive. He was like, really? Like, she was just leaning on the fence. It's because I wasn't ready to
mhm,
see him talking to another girl, laughing and talking. That was a me thing.
yeah.
Because it could have been you never meet her. You never know who she is. You don't see no text messages. You don't see nothing. Da 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 whatever. Because I used to be the girl. I'm gonna go through your phone. I ain't there no more.
Mhm,
So it could have been you'll never meet this woman, even though she's just my friend. Because I don't want to even put that insecurity in your head. It was like, no, this person means a lot to me, as if it was one of his homeboys. This is my
mhm,
dude.
mhm.
So when somebody does that, you gotta get over it.
I love this conversation, right? Because you're bringing up a few pieces. One, insecurities can play a role, maturity can play a role, um, and that's insecurities or maturity on both sides, right? So for us as women, are we comfortable with our spouse being upfront and honest and saying, hey, I have female friends? Or are we going to trip? And so they have to decide, do they want to disclose that or bring that out? Right. And then on the other side, and I would love to get feedback from any of the men in the audience. What is that like
Mm.
for what is that like for you? Thinking about your wife having a male friend, and even a male best friend or very close friend. Like, are there issues with that? I hear a lot of men. I have a lot of brothers, and I have a lot of guy friends, and so many times they're like, "Listen, some of these guys ain't hitting on nothing," and so it's like, and I think Tiffany, you mentioned this earlier, where it was like I had guy friends, but were we really friends? Because they really were just trying to, have
Yeah.
sex. So, how does that play a role? And if you feel like, now this is the other thing too, Tiffany, that I run into is that one or the other, the husband or the wife will be like, I'm not comfortable with this friend. She's trying to talk to you. He's trying to talk to you. And the spouse is like, what? No, they're not. Like, they're either blind to the facts. So, what are your thoughts about that? I would love to hear from the audience
I'm
as well.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing because that was Keith when he moved here and worked at a call center.
Gotcha.
Because he has a very larger than life personality.
Hmm.
And so he's in the call center walking around talking to these girls, hey, da da da, whatever, yada yada yada. He got his accent because he bred North Carolina, this Boston accent. I said, mm-hmm. I said, that's fine. I said, you know what's happening, right? No, I'm just being direct. I said, okay. Mm-hmm, you sure do. He was working like third shift, so I never had to go up there. I was like, that's totally fine. Don't worry about it. I said, because you're going to see it in a little while.
Hmm.
Because even then, I just I call it the grandma mentality.
Mm.
Back in the day, before social media was big, grandpa would have 4, 5 different women with 4, 5 different babies, but grandma was good
Hmm.
because her house was taken care of.
Hmm.
Everybody
Hmm.
can whisper about it, do what you want to, but my house is good. My I'm the one that when he died, Social Security coming to me. So, you know, so I was like, you go figure it out. And it was a couple few that they finally crossed the line. He was like, no,
Hmm.
man, no. And he came back to me. He was like, You were right.
You were right. Yeah. Yeah.
You were right.
And that's important, right? For especially for men. We as women, we are very intuitive. I mean, I think we pick up on things very easily, very quickly. And I do think that as a friend, right, that you pay attention and listen to what your spouse is saying to you. Hey, watch out for this person. Or, hey, I'm not comfortable with you being friends with this person. And I think that that is important as well, right? Like your spouse
Yeah.
knows, okay, she's not just being insecure, um, but she is saying, I'm not comfortable with this relationship. I'm not comfortable with
Mm-hmm.
you being friends with this person. And the other spouse respecting that. Now, that can be challenging because, um, and I've worked with couples where, and this is the next question I'm going to ask, are we maintaining friendships after marriage with people that we have dated in the past? Is that where do people kind of stand with that? Like, is that appropriate? What are your thoughts? Um, uh, so I want to hear people's, thoughts on that as well. But being able to hear your spouse when they say, I'm not comfortable with you being friends, and respecting your spouse.
Yeah. Um. So all my exes, I have one we run into.
Hmm.
Um. Because it's my brother-in-law's like best friend or whatever, and he be who he was on security business. Was like, hey, come work for me one weekend. And the thing too, the transparency.
Yeah.
You tell your
Yes.
spouse about your exes, and
Hmm.
you don't have to tell them everything, but at least you acknowledge this is an ex. So they never run up in the street
Yeah.
and run, especially when they move to your city. You got to make sure you be like, yep, this one, yep, that one, yeah, I smashed that one, but that was just a smash. It was for me. You got to be there honest about it, And that goes with ownership of your own stuff.
Hmm.
Because I never want Keith to walk into Walmart and somebody be like, oh, you Tiffany's husband, and stop and do that, because then it's like, what's that about?
Hmm. Hmm.
But like I said, it's only one female that I can say until about 2 or 3 years ago that made me uncomfortable with Keith having communication with, and that was because it wasn't just a girlfriend; it was an ex fiance.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk
But
about that.
but at the same time, I knew that she had messed up horribly. But she would always pick random times to pop in, and I'm like, "What you popping in for? You ain't talked in a year." But then I was like,
Hmm.
you know what? Because of their past relationship, it may be a situation that happened years ago that she may need to talk to her. So, everybody get older, everybody get their people. I need therapy. I need to go make amends, X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to stop you from getting your blessing. Feel free to have a phone call, but make sure it's a phone call. You ain't got to text DM, nothing like that. We done. But no, but it's just, it's knowing the person you with. You
Hmm.
can't take what's supposed to be a one night stand and turn it into a marriage, and you got to know the difference.
Hmm.
Because you have to know what you need and what you want out of life and where you want to go.
Hmm.
And nobody's gonna have 100% of that. But having that friendship is gonna make up for that 20% they don't have. Because you're gonna be able to say, well, where they may not have, I have. Well, where they lack, I got.
Hmm.
That's what friendship for me. Because a marriage is a piece of paper. It's a business license.
Hmm.
It's a business license. It is something to say that everything that is of value is between you and I. And if we show part, we gotta find how we're gonna separate this stuff.
Hmm.
There are people of common law marriage who still have to go through that process because they've been together more than 7 years, however they go.
Hmm.
But the relationship is what you choose to do.
Yeah.
So if me and she would never got married, but we still wanted to build this life together, our relationship and friendship is what the base of it is.
That's a really good point, which is the friendship is like foundation, right? Where I respect you, I value you. Um, I enjoy, I genuinely like you and
Oh
want
yeah.
to be around you. Yeah. And then from there, everything else builds because I respect you. I'm going to be transparent and be honest with you because I respect you. Someone who I respect, I'm going to be honest with. And so from there, you're building on to the relationship and it enhances the marriage and it allows others to be able to grow because they're seeing healthiness role modeled.
Mm-hmm.
And it also strengthens the level of trust in the relationship, especially when it comes to things like, him going out of town, or if he has to work with someone who is of the opposite sex, it makes it a lot easier and it really reduces the stress
Yeah.
in relationships when you do have friendships and you have trust. I love all of what you're saying, and those are exactly the things that I talk to my clients about. And I want to encourage all of us to kind of think about that, right? So, if you're married, how can you start enhancing the relationship that you have with your spouse? How can you build this friendship? And how can you take time to show interest, right? Go out, talk to them, try new things together, do things to create this desire, but also to create, like, strengthen the fact that I like you. Like, let's go out. Let me
Exactly.
learn more about you. Let me pick your brain. Like, let's talk. Let's talk. Like, what you think about
So
this? Um,
the last I'm not gonna hold y'all because I've been here for a while. But Steve knows that I love to have in-depth conversations
mhm,
because I feel like there are so many layers to everybody. And so, and being together, even being together, we've been 15 years.
mhm.
But then we talk about everything.
Yeah.
He went and found conversation cards on Amazon.
Yes.
And some of these are the most randomest things that you be like, would you eat ketchup on your hot dog or mustard? Explain why. I mean, but it's like, just the most randomest things. And a lot of times that leads to conversation. And we like car trips. Not necessarily we like to drive to Boston because we have done it several times.
Hmm.
But those 12 hours in the car, there's no distraction. It's
Yeah.
music, you, and food.
Yep.
So you're gonna talk about the food you're eating. You're gonna pick music to sing and karaoke to as you're driving, and you're gonna
Yes.
pull up conversations cards and have conversations. So that's the thing. But all in all, when it comes to your relationship and your a friendship is another form of relationship. It's what you put into it.
Yeah.
It's just like grass. If you don't water it, if you don't seed it, if you don't aerate it, if you don't put work into it, you don't have it. And don't be afraid, even with your friends. If you think you need therapy with your friends, have a session with your friends,
Hmm.
with
Hmm.
a therapist or a counselor because it's needed.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you forget how to talk to each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
That, that's what I say. It's
I love
important.
that. Yes, definitely. Get the help that you need. I love what you said about those questions. And I have, well, they don't pay me, so I'm not going to
Okay,
advertise
you
what it
get
is, but I'm going to read
tell
one of
later.
the. Yes, it is so good. Listen to one of these questions. It said, if you could go back in time and give yourself advice about our relationship, what would it be and when? So
Mm.
that's a great idea that you had. And this is kind of what I kind of work with my couples on. Like, we ask questions and I'm gonna have y'all process that and talk. And that's how you start to learn more and go deeper into conversations to be able to find out more about your spouse. So this has been another delicious conversation, Relationship Friday. Tiffany, thank you so much for being brave and coming up. Thank y'all in the audience for sharing your thoughts, your feedbacks, your comments. We are always looking for ways to grow, to heal, and to become our healthiest self. And so that is what I take great pleasure in doing, is offering these opportunities for us to talk and to grow. For the women that are looking to love like they have never been hurt before. I want you to stay tuned. We are going to be coming out with that course. So in a couple of weeks, we're going to be having a masterclass. And from there, you are going to have the opportunity to sign up for that course, where we're going to teach you how to be a friend, and connect with your partner, right? How to be soft, how to connect with your feminine energy, and how to let go of the past and the woundings so that you can be present in your relationships and have the nice, the delicious relationship that you are looking for. So sign up for our masterclass when it comes out. We'll be getting some information on that. Message us if you are interested and just say masterclass. We'll know and we'll get you the information. We will also send you the link to sign up for that. So you all take care. Be blessed. This has been another Relationship Friday. I am Rachel Hunter, your licensed clinical social worker and your wellness and relationship coach. Take care. Look for ways to enhance the friendship that you have with your partner, with your spouse. See you later, alligator. Y'all take care. Be blessed. And I will see you. We will not be here next Friday live. I will be traveling. But we will not leave you without it. So we're going to go in the archives and we're going to pull up another delicious oldie but goodie, one of our lives that we did last year or maybe the year before. So I'll be picking one. And if y'all have one that you want to see, let us know and we'll make sure that we post it up and play it for you live. All right, y'all take care. Carolyn, hey, Miss Lady, happy Friday. Thank you. Thank you. All right, y'all take care and I will see you. I'll see you around.